If you're in healthcare, you know the feeling. The endless charting, the inbox full of patient messages, the constant pressure to do more with less. But what if I told you there's a new kind of intelligent assistant, one that's available 24/7, ready to help you tackle all of it? Today, we're going to dive into a new skill called prompt engineering. It's the key to unlocking that reality, and it all starts with understanding just how big the problem is.
Yeah, this statistic probably doesn't surprise you one bit, does it? It's the reality for so many of you. And this isn't just about paperwork. It's about time, right? Time that's being stolen from what actually matters most, caring for your patients. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about solving.
So let's just take a moment and acknowledge the full picture here, because it's not just one thing, is it? It's really a perfect storm of daily frustrations.
I mean, look at this list. It's the documentation, of course, but it's also the administrative overload, the constant pinging of patient messages, and all these different systems that refuse to talk to each other. It all piles up, leading to throughput pressures and, let's be honest, burnout. But these exact pain points, they're precisely what a new kind of technology is designed to help with. Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's meet this new assistant. We are talking about a new class of AI that is fundamentally different from anything you've probably used before.
This is generative AI. And the key word here is generative. Instead of just finding information that already exists somewhere, these tools can create brand new, original content. Think about it. Drafting a clinical note from a few bullet points, or generating a patient handout in simple, easy-to-understand language, all based on your instructions. So what's the magic behind all this? Well, the brain, or the engine powering these tools, is something called a large language model, or an LLM for short. These things are incredible. They're trained on just massive amounts of text, books, articles, and yes, even medical journals. That's what gives them this amazing ability to understand and write like a human.
But here's the thing, and this is absolutely crucial. This incredibly powerful engine, it has no idea what you want it to do. You have to give it directions. And that skill, that art of giving clear instructions, is called prompt engineering. It's all about translating your clinical goal into a language the AI can understand and execute perfectly. Without a good prompt, even the smartest AI is just a guessing machine.
I love this analogy because it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures how all these pieces fit together. The AI, the LLM, that's the raw power, the engine. But the prompts you write, that's the steering wheel. And most importantly, you are the driver. You're always in control. This isn't about replacing you. It's about giving you a brand new, incredibly powerful tool to command.
So, how do you become a skilled driver? How do you learn to steer this thing effectively? Well, thankfully, there's a simple, memorable formula you can use every single time. It's called the RCTF framework: role, context, task, and format. And there's a good reason this works so well. First, you give the AI its role. Tell it who to be. Act as a nurse educator, a medical scribe, a patient advocate. Then, you give it the context. This is the background info, the patient's age, their new diagnosis. Next, you state a very clear task. What exactly do you want it to do? Explain hypertension. Create a SOAP note. And finally, you specify the format. How do you want the answer? In 2 paragraphs, as a list of bullet points, simple as that.
And this is where you really see the power of that framework. On the one hand, you have a vague prompt, like explain high blood pressure. What you get back is a generic textbook definition. Kind of useless, right? But now look at the structured prompt using RCTF. You get a tailored, patient-ready explanation in plain language in the exact format you need. The difference in usefulness is just night and day.
Okay, so the theory makes sense, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's see how this framework holds up in a busy clinic.
So, let's meet Dr. Wagner. She's an internist, and her story is probably going to sound pretty familiar to a lot of you. She was spending hours every evening just catching up on her clinical notes. So she decided to try something new.
So by using a structured RCTF prompt to help draft her notes, the results were immediate and pretty dramatic. A task that used to take her a full 15 minutes now took just 3. And this wasn't about the AI doing her job, it was about getting that first draft done in seconds so she could focus her time on reviewing and refining it. And you know how those minutes add up. She reclaimed hours of her personal time every single week.
All right, so that's documentation, but what about something different, like patient communication? Let's take a look at Nurse Shannon. She needed to create a clear handout about high cholesterol, but was squeezed for time between patients.
So she used that exact same RCTF framework we just talked about. She told the AI its role was a health educator, gave it the context of a newly diagnosed patient, tasked it with explaining cholesterol, and formatted it as a few paragraphs and bullet points. And boom! In just a couple of minutes, she had a professional patient-ready handout. Quality care delivered without the time crunch.
Now, we need to pause for a second and talk about something incredibly important. This is the big one. With all this power comes a huge responsibility, and that is protecting patient privacy. This is absolutely non-negotiable.
Let me be absolutely crystal clear on this. You can never, ever enter any protected health information into public AI tools. That means no patient names, no addresses, no dates of birth, no medical record numbers, any detail, no matter how small, that could possibly be used to identify a specific patient must be removed or generalized before it ever goes into a prompt.
And please, always remember this. The AI is a tool. It's an assistant. It is your co-pilot. It is not the pilot. The final clinical judgment, the accountability, and the professional responsibility, that always stays with you.
So, with all that said, where is this all headed? Well, this skill we're talking about, prompt engineering, it's not just some niche hobby for tech enthusiasts. This is quickly becoming a core competency in the practice of medicine.
I mean, just look at what's coming down the pike. We're talking about AI co-pilots built right into your EHR, ready to help with a single click. We're going to see AI models trained specifically for cardiology or oncology. And pretty soon, you'll be able to just speak your prompts out loud, hands-free. The fundamental way you interact with technology at work is about to change.
Look, this technology is moving at an incredible pace. An AI co-pilot is no longer a question of if, it's a question of when. And the principles we've talked about today, that language of prompt engineering, that's how you're going to communicate with these new systems. So the engine is coming. The only question left is, are you ready to get in the driver's seat and lead the conversation?